I have been for around 6 months since I did make a video about this about 6 months ago about Mr. Daniel Updike. Hello, Mr. Updike, if you're there. I have been studying off and on Asatru. Now, Asatru is the religion, or was the religion, of the people of Northern Europe. My people. Now, Mr. Updike says it goes back 40,000 years, that our people have been in Europe and practicing the religion of Asatru for 40 years. And it's associated with the Vikings, which the Vikings were not a people. The Vikings were like a sailor. I believe that was like a class of people, not a group of people. If anybody knows, please correct me. But it is a belief system. I think you could say about Asatru like you could about Protestantism, that there's a lot of separation, a lot of divides within Asatru as far as what the beliefs are and what the systems are. According to Brian Wilton, he talked about the 9 noble virtues of Odinism. And Odinism would be another name for Asatru. Honor, fidelity, different things that are a part of Asatru. There's the poetic Edda, the prose Edda, there's the lore, there's the stories. There's a lot of videos out there. And of course, there are the runes. And the runes are 24 systems, 24 letters that are archetypical in origin. And they are used in a type of practice where you have them all in a little bag. And you pick them out of the bag in a certain order. And they all have meanings. And you use them as a practice of divination to make decisions and to learn more about yourself. And there's also a practice of meditating on the runes. And according to Mr. Updike and Mr. Wilton, that if you practice these runes and you dedicate yourself to them, they can change you as a person. And they can change you. Now, I've studied them. I've looked at a lot of videos. I downloaded some books on my phone. I read a little bit. But I'm pretty much a lot like the same kind of person who's in the Asatru that I was a Christian. Not really that dedicated to them. I started working out in 1980. I started jogging in 80. And that was going to be 35 years in May. And I've always worked out. 3-4 days a week. Always. I've worked out for 35 years. I'm very faithful to that. I lift. Even when I didn't have access to a gym and I didn't have weights, I did body weight workouts. I didn't do as much. I kind of lost some enthusiasm. But I did. And I watched my diet. I try to keep my weight. And I look at these videos and I'm wondering if I'm too fat. So that I'm faithful to. I'm more faithful to that than I am to Asatru. But I am impressed with it so far because of the practice of the runes. It actually seems something concrete. It actually seems like something that you can learn something. And it's something that's helpful. It's an actual practice. Because in my previous religion, being a Baptist, there was no practice. You just went, set your ass down, and you listened to a story, or you were the guy conducting the service. Or you told somebody a speech and you asked people, well, if you died tonight, would you go to heaven or hell? It was just not much to it. There was no individual thing. Now, I did my ex-wife, my first wife, she was a part of a group that had a pray reading, and they did some type of practice where they read it, where it seemed like some type of practice, where there was some kind of actual work that they did to help themselves. But I felt strange doing that, and it was a group activity. It wasn't a personal activity that I could see. And I never have felt comfortable praying. It's not something that I've ever done. So I don't know how far I'm going to get into this. I just want to let people know that I am starting to practice Asatru. And there's any words of encouragement you can have, that's fine. But that is something that I'm doing, and I just want to let people know.